Bellator Dublin, we have the champ Gegard Mousasi defending his middleweight belt against Austin Vanderford. This is going to be an extremely tough test for Austin Vanderford in my opinion, but can he do it? Before we get into the video guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new, like the video and share around guys if you do enjoy it. Let's get into it. Alright, let's start with Gegard Mousasi. We're only going to really talk about his Bellator career because he's been in Bellator now for a few years, ever since he beat Cavallo and finished him pretty easily, to be honest. And Gegard is one of those guys that is a complete package. He's really good everywhere. He's got very good striking, really good with the jab. He utilised the jab beautifully against Rory McDonald. Now I know Rory McDonald was nowhere near the weight he should have been. He shouldn't have been fighting Gegard at that point, but it showed the levels and just technicality as well that Gegard just absolutely dominated from start to finish in every area. He uses the jab very well to close the distance, and he loves a low double leg. He loves pinning the knees together, getting his shoulder literally to the knee, not to the hip. He loves getting the head to the floor almost and then just tripping them over. There's no slams involved, it's a trip. Any way he can normally find to the back to stretch him out, ground and pound finish, or get the choke. He struggled against Lyoto Machida to do that kind of thing, and when you have a striking contest with a striker, he got the decision. I didn't think it was a split, I did think it was unanimous. I think that's a bit, I didn't think Machida did anything to win that fight, but it showed that he does have the level to strike with someone that is a pure striker. Machida, he has got some grappling, he never shows it. He's a karate guy. That's what Machida is. He's at the age now where he shouldn't probably be competing anymore. There's nothing left to prove. He doesn't need the money, I suspect. He's part of karate combat as well. So those sort of fights to me are always questionable when Gegard struggled to kind of break that guy down, but that could be an individual basis. Styles make fights, and Gegard, he struggled that night. You don't know what's going on mentally with the guy, but after that, looked brilliant. So after that, he fought Douglas Lima, and Douglas Lima landed some good kicks. He really questioned the striking of Gegard for a little bit, but at the end of the day, Gegard knows how to get wins. His record, what is it, like 48-7 with two draws, I think. His record is phenomenal. To have near 60 fights on your record and I've only lost 7 times, and those losses, one of them is a fluke completely to Uriah Hall in the end of his tenure in the UFC with that spinning kick, and then he obviously avenged it, dominated. There's some real questionable ones in there, but the Rafael Lovato one is one that really comes to mind there. It plays a good significant role in this matchup against Austin, because in the pre-fight for all of this, Gegard has laughed it off and said Austin will not take me down. It just won't happen. Bear in mind, Austin Vanderford is a Division 2 or Division 1 wrestler. As a Brit, they get confusing, but he's an all-American wrestler from Alaska. He's being inducted into Alaskan Wrestling Hall of Fame for what he's done. I believe he's 30 years old now, and Gegard's a lot older than that, but he's still at that point of his game. He's still the champ, he's still the best around in Bellator anyway. Lovato Jr. is not a wrestler. He is a phenomenal grappler. One of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners to ever grace mixed martial arts in my opinion. It's only a shame he couldn't do it in the UFC for me. But showing how to beat Gegard Mousasi convincingly, he got rocked every time the fight was striking. Every time it was standing, any strikes were thrown, Gegard was the guy. But he went down. Rafael, when he got him down, he kept him down. And it's that kind of pressure Vanderford also possesses that I think you might be underestimating Austin here. So when it comes to Austin, I don't think you have to look much further than even his debut in Bellator against Cody Jones. Cody's a very good jiu-jitsu practitioner, throwing up the rubber guard immediately, and you could kind of see the pressure. He was butterfly sweeping Austin, but the pressure he possesses with that wrestling base is scary, and eventually he gets the sub on Cody. It's an extremely great base to have. He has that looping right hand, and he likes to blitz forward and get that double leg, gets that power shot takedown as well. If you can't get the double leg, he will trip you. He loves a cage grinding kind of fight. He's not afraid to get bloody as well, and his last win out against Fabian Edwards is a massive win for me. I really rate Fabian Edwards, a lot of people do. He is up there in the division, and Austin is well deserving of a title shot here. But is it too much for him? Is Gegard that guy? I think there is a couple ways that Austin could really prove, I don't think he's finishing Gegard in any way, but I think he could really put some trouble on him, much like Rafael Lovato did. So for me, Austin has to use wrestling. Obviously, he's going to. It's his bread and butter. Gegard knows this. Can you take Gegard down? If Lovato Jr. can take him down, mate, Gegard's in for a long night, because this could be a very boring points decision fight for me. I don't think much is going to happen on the feet, because I don't think Austin has the ego or the bravado to even entertain fighting Gegard striking, because Gegard is very unorthodox. He switches stances beautifully, he uses that jab perfectly. Austin's got a decent jab of his own, but it's nothing like Gegard's. You know, he uses the jab to set up that giant right hand to then get the double leg and then finish you in ground and pound or the submission on the floor. Gegard uses his jab implementing with strikes. If he wants to take you down, he'll just take you down. He doesn't mix it up, the takedowns with the striking, as well as Vanderford does for me, because he does the striking so much better. He doesn't rely on chain wrestling, as it were, as opposed to just going for a takedown and getting a sprawl as a defense. So it's a real close one for me. You'd have to edge the betting towards Gegard, but I am going to take a full punt and say Austin Vanderford wrestle fucks him and gets a really boring John Fitch-esque Rafael Lovato pure wrestling win against Gegard Mousasi, and does become the middleweight champion for Bellator. Let me know, guys, what you think is going to happen, whether you think I'm way off or whether you think, you know, he actually has a chance. I think he's being underestimated here a lot. I don't think he's on Gegard's level, but I think he stylistically can beat Gegard. That's my point. If you have enjoyed this video, guys, remember to like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, share it around, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.